Hey guys, welcome back to the TSL. Your commentators are Vaul and Fonger, and we're actually commentating Group F of the Ro32 stage. Just going to start the replay now, commentating on the replay pretty much the day after. Now, just to let you guys know what's going on, the game is NonY versus, have a look, Brat OK, and this is the winners match of Group F. Now, Group F contained two Terran players, NonY and Brat OK and Tarzan, and two Protoss players, which were Infernal and NonY. So there was a TVT and a PvP, and the winners of those two games came through to this round. And now we're looking at NonY versus Brat OK. So yeah, a lot of TVPs played on this map, obviously during the tournament. Longinus being an interesting map for that. What I've been seeing a lot lately is Terran players basically just going straight for the wall in, and conversely the Protoss players going for a quick double gate to get the Dragoons up as quick as they can and just really sort of cause a lot of damage before siege gets researched. But very occasionally, for example, just be looking at Strelok, who didn't do that, and he managed to win anyway. Just going to hand you over to Fonger now, who's my resident TVP expert. Fonger, when you're on this map against a Terran, a Protoss player as a Terran, what's the usual reasoning for whether you wall off or not? I mean, do you look for the scout, or how early would you scout, and when would you go for the wall? When wouldn't you?
I generally scout with the barracks. With the SCV that's just finished the barracks in all matchups. In TVT and TVP anyway. And generally on Longinus lately, I've been foregoing the wall. I can't stand it when you wall in and you have 4 goons with range on your doorstep hammering away at the depots before your first tank's out, basically. So lately I've just been doing FD or even 2-fac on the map just to avoid that kind of situation. But it looks like Brat here is also going for an anti-zealot build because of the positioning of his supply and barracks, but he's not going to wall off, which I think is safer against the 2-gate goon.
Yeah. Looking at NonY's base, he hasn't really started too much yet. We can't really see too much about what he's gonna do. He's not building a zealot by the looks, so looks like, yeah, sub-net score going down, so he'll be going for the goons. Yeah, I think with a build like this, because Brat is about to scout NonY's base and he'll see that he's not being zealot rushed or anything like that, you'll probably see him build quite a lot of Marines since he hasn't decided to wall in, and maybe he's going to try and be a bit offensive and just take the game to NonY rather than the other way around, just to avoid the headache of having those goons box you in really early. NonY's probers showed up, but it'll be quickly ushered out of the base with the Marine.
NonY has seen that Brat's taken SCVs off gas, so I think it's a pretty safe bet for NonY also that that Brat's going to fast expand.
Quite right, yeah, Brat just putting a second SCV back on gas now. But yeah, good spotting, Fonger. I think I agree with you there. He might push out with just a few Marines just before too many goons show up. But just noticing in NonY's base, he hasn't put down the second gateway yet. He's going for goon range. He's got a pylon right at the back of his base. Maybe he intends to put something sneaky there after the SCV's left. But Brat does see that pylon there. Yeah, so NonY actually not going for a 2-gate. Do you reckon he's more likely to tech up, or perhaps go for that expansion first?
Well, you know, NonY is infamous for his Reavers. So I don't know, he might be just going for a 1-gate range expand or possibly Reaver. Be interesting to see. Yeah,
I was just talking to Diggity the other day, and Diggity was raving about NonY and how good his Reavers are. But yeah, fair enough though. We'll see whether he does in fact decide to go for that shortly. Still no second gate, still goons just coming out. We've got a first goon heading up the ramp towards Brat's space. Brat is prepared with 5 Marines. He's building a 6th. Tank plus mines being researched, so that says to me that he's going to be looking to push out, and if he does push out straight away, it is going to be okay, because NonY has gone for that Nexus fairly fast before the second gate, and I think that Brat will probably be able to get quite a long way across the map before NonY stops him, just given the number of troops he has, and look, he's even moving some SCVs out, so yeah, he's doing this under the cover of an expansion by the looks.
Yeah, the thing about Longinus is that if you can hold the ramp against the Terran's first push, against FD in particular, I guess, which he hasn't done in this case. I guess he just didn't have well confident with the number of goons he had, is that you can just do so much damage to the Marines when they're trying to force their way up the ramp that you can stop it cold, but looks like Brat's made his way across already.
Yeah, and NonY is going for the robotics facility, so if I were him, I'd probably be looking at getting orbs, because that Vulture is coming in behind of Brat's forces, and thanks to these two SCVs, Brat is actually going to directly engage these 4 Dragoons, so there's a bit of a firefight going on now, but these SCVs are right up the front, just distracting everything, and SCV actually getting a kill, so well done. But mine's actually going off now right into the middle of NonY's natural expansion, so 3 mines laid there. There's a little bit of a gap to let the Dragoons out, but of course the Dragoons won't totally know whether there's mines further out or not at this point, so SCV luckily there to repair the tank. I really love this move by Brat, okay, because he's got the SCVs along with his forces to help take fire, but he can also use them to repair if the SCVs are still alive by the end of it. And Brat just getting his expansion up now, so Brat is actually not too far behind expansion-wise, and he's managed to get those mines there. And meanwhile, NonY is indeed going for observatory, so it won't be long before he can push out. But I think this is quite good by Brat to actually just buy himself some time, and he's really taken the pressure off himself. He's not been pressured at his own base by goons for this entire game, and I think that's what's quite important.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what NonY goes for next, if he's just going to mass up and tech up 2 bases or go immediately for that 3rd nexus. He has put up a 3rd gate, so he might be going for more of a tech approach before 3rd base, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, just looking at Brat's base, he's only now researching the siege upgrade, and it sort of becomes clear to me what his plan was, and that really was to put pressure on NonY. He's really saved himself the bother of getting siege first. I mean, normally on this map you would need to get a siege quite early because of those Dragoons, but he hasn't had to get siege because he's used those Marines and SCVs to push NonY back, and he's now in a very leisurely position. He's only just getting an engineering bay too, so he's managed to invest first in his economy and his Vulture technology before backing himself up. He's now just getting Vulture speed, so that could be working for him. And finally we've got Dragoons pushing their way across the map, but by the time they get there, that tank siege should be done. Yeah, in fact it was already done. It's just being set up now, and Brat should be safe. I see that Brat's actually scouting the 5 o'clock position, the raised expansion there, just because he expects NonY to go for a 3 base at this point, which he hasn't. So if NonY does not in fact get a 3rd base soon, he's probably going to be behind in this game.
Well, I reckon NonY was actually playing quite safe with the 3rd gate and observatory before his 3rd nexus. I think he's still going to go straight for that pretty soon now, but that was a pretty safe approach just in case he was to get sort of 4 really quick factories timing push on him.
Yeah, look at his mineral only. That's where NonY is looking to get the expansion, so fair enough. Going for the mineral only is much safer, so I agree with you there. There's definitely safety in NonY's mind right now. It doesn't really want to go for an expansion further out, just for fear of Brat's Vultures, which he knows have been upgraded now, and Brat has been going for them. Armory and Academy now for Brat, so he's definitely moving securely into the mid-game, looking to get some early upgrades, perhaps a +1. And check out NonY's main. He's got a robotics support base, so very late.
Surprise.
Yeah, very late, but I mean, we've got Brat with a couple of missile turrets already. Do you think that was a bit of a he's got a sigil of a Dun as well, so do you think you can catch Brat off guard with these Reavers or not? I mean,
the average Protoss wouldn't be able to, but this is NonY.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, at the moment I see, a couple of gaps where he could possibly bring the Reaver. One of them is just above Brat's natural there. He could just land the Reaver there and possibly try and get a couple of Scarabs through that gap in the mineral line. But the tanks are going to be sieged up there, so that's not going to work too well. His other option is coming through over to the south at the left-hand side of Brat's base, but he's recently built a new missile turret there, and he's got one closer to his command center, so just not sure where NonY's going to put it. We'll find out shortly. He's actually brought his shuttle over now. So Reaver and a couple of zealots.
For the 3rd base. the third base of Bratz to be lifted out and then trying to harass him and put some pressure. Stop
Yeah, that would work.
Third base up. I guess the Reaver would help with that.
His observer's actually gone in first and taken the flak, so that's gone. NonY carefully bringing in his Reaver now and landing it, but Brat's already there with a whole bunch of tanks, and Reaver goes down. So sorry, NonY. I know you're good with Reavers, but you're not that good. I don't think anybody would really be able to do any damage in that sort of situation. Brat's got a lot of units, hasn't he? He should be easily able to push out to secure that third base. He's got a vulture. He's got 2 vultures around the map just to make sure that NonY's not going for a fourth. And look, he's just moving out now with vultures and tanks. So definitely. Whoa! He's taking out two goons there. This looks bad for NonY. NonY's actually taking a lot of flak with mines. The pathing for that goon just got trapped, and oh my god, another mine goes off. This is actually really terrible for NonY.